Good evening. I'd like to call the March 3rd, 2026 meeting of North Bend City Council to order. Can the clerk please call the roll?
Mayor Pro Tem Earl Tremolata,
Here.
Councilmember Brendan Elwood, Councilmember Mark Jocelyn,
Present.
Councilmember Heather Cullen, Councilmember Rob McFarland,
Here.
Councilmember Christina Rustick,
Present.
Councilmember Susan Torgerson.
Here.
All are present with the exception of Councilmember Elwood and Cullen, and they're both excused.
Thank you. Will the clerk please lead us in the flag salute?
States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Okay, at this time, I'll be asking Councilmember Jocelyn to make a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
I so move.
Do we have
Second.
a second, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? This motion carries unanimously. We will now move to the consent agenda. We have 5 items on the agenda. Can I get a motion?
I move approval of the consent agenda. Second.
Second. All right. Councilmember Jocelyn made the motion, seconded by Councilmember McFarland. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? The motion carries and is unanimous. All right. So we will now move on to audience participation. If you wish to speak, now would be the time to come forward. We'll take in-person comments followed by online comments. Please remember to state your name for the record. Please spell your last name for the clerk and limit your comments to 3 minutes. Anybody wish to speak?
I will follow you. I normally don't go to first. Is it allowed to use a script? It's my first time.
Can you move down the microphone?
Is it better? Okay. Good evening, Mayor and Council members. Thank you for your time tonight. My name is Vivian Mobley. I'm a Pacific Northwest transplant, and I'm also a solopreneur. My business is Vivian's Cultural Hub, where I am dedicated to culture exchange and education through tea and educational workshops and experience. A big part of my work is community education, and I try to help people connect and learn something meaningful together. I also care deeply about volunteering in the community. I'm a long-term volunteer with the Mount Si Senior Center Trail Youth Coffee Home, Chamber of Commerce, North Bend Library, and Empower Youth Networks. I love being involved locally, and I spend a lot of time outdoors with my family, using our parks and trails. That's what brings me here tonight with 2 observations. First, I want to raise a concern about teens and electric bikes, especially on shared trails and in public parks. I'm not here to blame kids. E-bikes can be a great thing in terms of independence and getting outside, but I've also seen more close calls on trails, particularly with higher speeds and limited visibility around corners or crowded areas. My hope is we approach this as an education and safety issue, something we solve together as families and as a community. A few practical steps that could help. Number 1, no speeding on electric bikes and yield to pedestrian signage in parks and trail entrances. Number 2, working with schools, PTAs, or youth groups on trail etiquette and safety basics. Number 3, consideration of speed guidance in certain high-traffic trail areas, especially where families walk with small kids, elders, and dogs. Hope we can make our community be a safer place to live. Second, I've noticed a lot of trash along I-90, especially around exit 31 to 34. Every time I drive through, it really stands out. It's not just an eyesore. It affects the wildlife and the pride we feel in our region. If the city or county has an existing cleanup program, I would love to support. I don't want to create more work for staff. I just want to offer help. In closing, I'm here because I care about safe and shared spaces and a clean community. Thank you for everything you do. I just appreciate being connected. I'm Vivian Mobley, and I'm happy to follow up after the meeting. Thank you.
Anybody else? Yep.
Why do I always get these hard acts to follow? My goodness. So Deborah Landers, 14615 438th Avenue Southeast. Again, I'm here to represent North Bend Art and Industry because we have a lot going on. So first of all, I want to share with you our March happenings, and I'm going to pass these around. And I'll start with you, Susan.
Why, thank you.
With the March happenings, we have one in particular that's kind of a standout. We have Josh Tuaninga, who is the founder of the Medium design company in North Bend. He's also a published author. He has several children's books that he's published and a graphic novel called We Are Not Strangers. If you haven't seen the book, it's amazing. It came out about 2 years ago. And right now he has 2 new novels that'll be coming out in 2027. Well, he's doing an author discussion, question and answer at the Center for Creativity on March 31st. And I'm inviting you guys to come and attend and see and hear and ask questions of Josh around what it takes to both write, edit, and get a book published. And right now he's on tour. He's touring all over the United States for his 2 new books. So he's kind of hot stuff, and he's right here in North Bend. So with that, I also want to remind you that we have some upcoming events. Art Off the Rails is June 20th. It's going to be at our Depot Park, the William Henry Taylor Park again, June 20th. We will be the sole location for artists again this year. This is still done in collaboration with Snoqualmie's Arts Commission and the Northwest Train Museum. They'll have elements of a festival, but we will have artists, and we already have, I think, almost 50 artists signed up. So we're looking at probably maxing out at 80 this year. So lots of artists, some great musicians, some great food, some wonderful art activities on June 20th. And just to highlight that we've never had good weather for that festival, not one year. This is our 4th year, and I'm looking for umbrellas for swag so we can be the East Side bumper shoot this year. So put it on your calendar, come on out. It is fun. The other thing that is new to us this year is the Art in Nature Walk. This started last year in Carnation with the Lee Arts Foundation. They provided wood rounds for artists to create art on, and then they hung them on trees along the Snoqualmie Valley Trail. So this has been expanded this year. It'll go starting from Carnation to Fall City and North Bend. So there's 3 organizations representing Art in Nature Walk. That is, right now we're taking artist applications for their wood rounds, which are in our center, decorating the walls of our center. And they'll be spending about 2 months to create their art. And then we hang the art at the end of June from July through August. That's it. I'll tell you more next time. Goodbye.
Thank you. Anybody else wish to comment? Bill, is there anybody online?
Not tonight, Your Honor.
Hey. All right, we will now move on to announcements, presentations, and appointments. Item number 6, we have a presentation of the Planning Commission report. At this time, I'd like to invite Planning Commissioner Chair Hannah Thiel to come forward and provide us with the Planning Commission report.
Hi, good evening. And I'd say good evening to all not planning commissioners, all city council members. I apologize. I don't want to downgrade you. But I appreciate you, Mayor Pro Tem Chemilata, as well. It's really an honor to stand before you representing the North Bend Planning Commission. We're a team of volunteers, a team of constituents that were appointed to recommend and advise you on matters of land use and how it pertains to our city. As a city with a small footprint, our land use choices are near and dear to all of our hearts. The recommendations we have forwarded you are on the basis of developing and maintaining our long-term sustainability that encapsulates the priorities of our residents. Tonight, I'm going to review 12 Planning Commission accomplishments of 2025 that you may reflect on fondly or maybe not fondly. And then I'll outline 8 items to look forward to in 2026. So in February of 2025, so over a year ago, we reviewed and recommended ADU regulations, bringing the city into conformance with recent state legislation. And this is a lot of our recommendations and amendments are based off of updating to accommodate state and sometimes federal regulations. So we want to make sure that we're current and following the law since we are a city that is interested in that. Also in February, we hosted the public input community meeting for the development of Middle Fork Master Plan. We reviewed and recommended a development agreement for the Mountain View Townhome and Commercial Development Project. Then in March, we reviewed and recommended the amendments to the city's critical area regulations and critical area maps. This is also a state requirement that we were adhering to. And this follows suit. The next few will be state requirements led, but it's important to us whether it was a state requirement either way. So April and May, we reviewed and recommended amendments to the city design standards for conformance to the design review to reduce and eliminate design standards that are duplicate of city regulations. So cleaning up our code. So partly state code, but also just cleaning up what we already have to make it user-friendly for staff and also user-friendly for the public. Then we also reviewed and recommended the city's residential impact fees to scale fees according to home size, consistent with state regulations. But that's important to our residents and future growth also. Impact fees are important, and we'll get to that also in this coming year for commercial impact fees. In May, we reviewed and recommended the city's form-based code. So this was pertaining to design review and reducing and eliminating standards that are duplicative in our code. In June, we reviewed and recommended water and sewer regulations for accessory dwelling units. And of course, that plays into the housing crisis that our state and country is really dealing with. In August, we recommended amendments on the city's landscape regulations to simplify bonding requirements. And also water conservation, which although it's raining, is still an issue in our city. August and September, we reviewed and recommended amendments to the zoning regulations, including definitions and other amendments relating to state requirements. September through December, we reviewed draft updates to the city's sign regulations, and this is ongoing. So, the sign regulations, as funny as this sounds, is actually something I'm really passionate about, and I'm really excited to be able to have sign regulations that fit our personality and our city. So Ms. Hepworth has been doing a really good job on getting into all of that. And I'm excited for us to continue to be able to recommend on that front. And also in December, we reviewed and recommended the dockets received for consideration of 2026 and the Planning Commission work plan. So tonight on your consent agenda, you may have noted some work plan items for this year. So this is a guiding plan of efforts for the year. Many of these are initiated because of state requirements and federal law changes, and some are just due to natural growth, not meaning influx of development, but also, city consultant findings or Snoqualmie tribe inclusion. So more details of these items can be found in your packet on page 27 or page 29 if you downloaded the PDF. So coming up in 2026, you'll see some comprehensive plan updates. So you're going to see economic development elements, parks elements, and capital facilities elements. You'll see new unit subdivision regulations and lot splitting regulations required by the state. And this, I know Planning Commission has already looked at this, and I'm not 100% sure if you guys have seen it on your agenda yet, but it's coming if not. updates to the city's parking regulations addressing multiple state requirements, updates to the transportation and park impact fee regulations. And this is for the commercial impact fee regulations, which is really exciting for any new commercial coming into our city, because I know that that has been a complaint in the past. So it's exciting to review it and make sure that it's fitting within what we want for our city. An expansion of the multifamily tax exemption regulations to apply additional areas to the city. Amendments to the design standards, amendments to the sign regulations, and amendments to the city's street frontage improvements and requirements applicable to new development. Now, that's not exhaustive, but it does give you a glimpse of what's coming, and we're really excited to work with you on that. So on behalf of myself and the rest of the Planning Commission, I'd like to express our sincere appreciation of your time and your consideration of the land use issues we recommend you. And your efforts are truly noticed, and we really appreciate all that you do. And I also like to thank the community development staff, Mr. McCarthy and Ms. Hepworth, Ms. Burrell and Mr. Henderson, and other members of the staff. We truly have such a great team with North Bend, and I know that there's countless hours that the staff put in putting together analyses and working with business owners and residents and contractors, and the care that they take in assembling our packets and all of the work that we get to look at is, we wouldn't be able to do it as just volunteers. So their professionalism is really appreciated, and thank you so much for supporting us. And we look forward to another great year, and I'm open to questions if you have any.
Thank you, Commissioner, and on behalf of myself at least, thank you to the Planning Commission for all the work that they do. I can say for myself, having been there, thousands of pages of material that you're going through, and that's pretty daunting. I'll take the role of one of our previous council members who always made sure that they pointed out the appreciation for how much the Planning Commission does before it ever gets to council. And so I want to thank you for that. Sounds like the work plan coming up, Mike's not going to let you breathe. That's normal as well. And then I'd say I would certainly put out there that how much respect I have for the work that the Planning Commission does in making their recommendations and taking the time to get the public feedback and walking through the issues carefully. And so when recommendations come to me, I certainly am thinking you've done the homework. I'm with you.
Thank you.
Councilmember Jocelyn?
Yes, I'd like to echo Councilmember McFarland. I will commit to, as the liaison to the Planning Commission, being more present than I was in the past year. I did come by a few times. Right, as a state mandated body, what you do for our city is foundational and instrumental. You mentioned the countless hours put in by staff, which I very much acknowledge and appreciate, but I don't think they are, you need to look in the mirror and say the same thing because of the countless hours that you and the Planning Commission, upon my being present, I am always struck by the thorough, in-depth detail that you folks put in to do your homework, read the content that's before you, and make informed, considered decisions following the discussion. And it's all volunteer work. And again, I think I already said it's so instrumental and foundational to our city and keeping us on the rails. And so I am, and we are, I believe, in your debt. You and your fellow commissioners, just thank you so much.
Thank you.
Councilmember Torgerson?
I remember those days. Sometimes you get a packet like this big you have to read through, so I totally get it. Sometimes we still get those packets, but no, you guys are our volunteers, and it's wonderful all the work you're doing, because it seems like things are getting more and more complicated, and so I too appreciate all the work that you all have been doing, and I appreciate that, and I want you to let everybody else in the team know that too. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. I'll just say you are tasked with a very dynamic time for this town. So I think your work is critically important. I certainly, from here, we're making some pretty big decisions over the last year and going forward. And I'm definitely leaning on Planning Commission to help vet those processes and those decisions and provide as much input to us as possible because things are very different today than maybe they have been in the past, and it's complicated but also exciting at the same time. So we appreciate all the support. Thank you very much. All right, thank you. All right, on to item number 7, presentation by the North Bend Downtown Foundation. At this time, I'd like to invite Executive Director Jessica Self of the North Bend Downtown Foundation to come forward and provide her update.
Yeah. Grab the cookie. Okay. Well, thank you everybody for being here. I'm excited to tell you what we've been doing over the last, I've been here now for about 2.5 years. So over the 3 years that the North Bend Downtown Foundation has been doing what we've been doing. And I am joined tonight by my board president, Brian Davis, and board member, Jacqueline Goodbar, and treasurer, Catherine Potchwit. So for those that don't know what the North Bend Downtown Foundation is about, it actively builds community, supports economic vitality, and champions historic preservation in order to make North Bend a thriving community for residents, businesses, and visitors alike. And in addition to the board members who are here, we also have Lori Hay, we have Rachel Bennett, Mandy McDonald, James Henderson sits as our ex officio, and myself, the executive director. And I wanted to talk about what we've been focusing on. And this is in the arena of, I'll be going through a few slides of our promotions, events, and marketing, year-round activation, business assistance and support, and our downtown North Bend appearance. So in these next couple slides, I'm going to talk about our promotions committee that drives economic vitality by positioning downtown North Bend as the community's hub for events, commerce, and connection. And we work on promoting the local businesses by sharing a lot of the Facebook posts, Instagram posts, and sharing it into the stories, which is huge. We really work on doing shopping local campaigns. We create our social media and print graphics in-house practically daily. We have our monthly email newsletter, and we really focus on that social media marketing and management, and I'll show that later of the impact that has had. And I'm not going to run through all of this, but you can see all of the events that we are planning, have planned, have done, and have in our future. And everyone will have a copy of this presentation, so you can look at those a little more closely. But we'll talk about a bunch of these moving forward. Now, we do the downtown block party, which is huge. I think Mary Miller I can quote her from saying, Mayor Mary Miller for saying that this is the largest crowd she has ever seen when she was on stage last year, which was really great. We definitely had over 3,000 attendees. It's fantastic with the music, the community performances, our Kids Zone. It's a very exciting event. And mark your calendars for July 18th this year. It's always the third Saturday. We also do Trick or Treat Street, and it does not matter if it's rain or shine. It's like art off the rails. We have it both ways, but we still get literally over about 1,500 attendees, the families. People come from all over North Bend and Snoqualmie, and I ran into some that were even like beyond. We had Issaquah last year. It's great. So people get excited for that and come around and hop into the stores and do all the fun stuff. And everyone gets very creative with their costumes. We also have our holidays annual event where we help get the tree downtown, the tree lighting, the lights downtown. And it's very exciting that we have so many businesses and community members that help with the holiday crafting and have live, I just read live, I'm sorry, we have our live music, obviously, and performances, but have the free movie at the North Bend Theater. We have complimentary coffee and cocoa and s'mores. So it's very exciting because this does not happen without a ton of volunteers. And we do the Sip Suds and Sci event. And so it's very exciting getting different wineries, cideries, liquor vendors coming all throughout, going all throughout town. We also have visitors that come from, actually, there was someone who came from Portland last year. So it definitely is a great event to pull people from out of town. Plus, we definitely have a lot of locals that come to that. We started the pub crawls just last year. So we started with our Saturday Night Fever. And what was so great, what we do with our pub crawls is we have decided to turn these into fundraisers. So we actually raised $1,550 for Snoqualmie Valley Food Bank in January 2025. And then this year, not this year, the end of last year, we had our Holidays Eve pub crawl, dashing through the pubs, which had a crazy windstorm with it too. But we managed to raise $1,800 for Snow Valley Pet Services. So that was fantastic. People loved it. We definitely love to put it all on social media and get the FOMO going. And people are like, I can't believe I missed it. When's the next one? So we are planning more, so stay tuned. We just had the Real Twin Peaks weekend a couple weekends ago. I feel like it was yesterday. I don't think I have caught up on rest yet, but that is okay. I will eventually. We had visitors join us locally across Seattle, throughout Washington. We had nationwide, like Austin, Chicago, New Jersey, Colorado. We had people coming from France, China, England, Ireland, Bulgaria, Italy, probably some other countries that I didn't get to talk to them about. It's pretty amazing. It was so many businesses had offered so many additional Twin Peaks style items and had changed maybe up their coffee offerings to have cherry with it, or obviously the cherry pies, and had fun names. And it was fantastic. And Twin Peaks Day was actually on a Tuesday. And we had people come in town the Tuesday or Wednesday before the weekend, and some stayed through the Tuesday, Wednesday, the next week, which was very cool. So we had people stay who wanted to come to the sign on that morning at 11:30 a.m. when Agent Cooper comes into town. And it was a magical time. So if you've not come out to any of it in the last few years, I highly recommend putting it on your calendar for next year. I will let you know when that is. And none of this can happen without us collaborating with a ton of different organizations. A lot of our events happen because we partner, also with either physically having people volunteer their time. We volunteer at different organizations. So it's just kind of you help each other out to make all this happen, which is fantastic. And we've definitely been growing our collaborations, and more people have been wanting to come and volunteer. I think we've heard multiple people say, North Bend's fun again, so that's exciting. I do want to say we are very, very excited for the social media growth that we've had. So last year, we gained 411 followers on Facebook, 730 followers on Instagram. But then this year, we grew it even higher than the year before. So it just keeps growing, and it's exciting to have almost 3,000 followers on Facebook, and about 3,400 as of February on Instagram. And last year we had that 456,000 views on Facebook, and now we're over 1 million views, and it just keeps growing, which is huge. And that's us sharing the businesses, what they're doing, what we're doing, what the city's doing. It's really exciting. We're getting a lot more interactions. So with having 607,000 views on Instagram, going from the 250, it's a very big deal. And I also personally do the Real Twin Peaks social media, and we grew that from about, when I got a hold of it, it was about 250 followers, and it's almost to 8,000 followers in just a couple of years. So that is a lot of North Bend on there, with, of course, some Snoqualmie. So it's very exciting. So yay. And we're building upon our success. So here's what's coming up this year, because America turns 250 this year. If you did not know, now you do. And we do have the World Cup coming to town, and that's a big deal. So here are some things that we're doing to activate more during the summertime and leading up. So everyone, we are going to have an inaugural 4th of July family fun parade, hikes, strikes, and tails. So this is going to be like your hometown style, like neighborhood style, that we will shut down the street, like the block party street. And we'll have more information to come, but we will have new motorized vehicles. This will be probably more people in the parade than actually watching the parade. But we're very excited to collaborate with North Bend Art and Industry. And we're going to have kind of some decorating parties leading up, so people can bring their bikes, their wagons, their leashes for their dogs, whatever, whatever you want to decorate. And so we'll announce that, but that is in the works, and we're super excited. So that'll be definitely more of a late morning, because we do know that there are some neighborhoods that have them at, I think, 10 a.m. we've discovered by having some of our community after hours and having conversations with our community members. So this is exciting stuff. And we have just launched the Historic Walking Tour, and it's a walk through North Bend's past. And you will now start seeing these out in the wild. I just started distributing these this morning, and that is the actual window cling, not that large, that will be on the windows throughout downtown, whether it's a historic building or not. And people will be invited to just do their own self-guided virtual tour. So it does, when you scan it, you'll see, you can click on a point and you'll see what building it was in the past, the name, its history. It was in collaboration with the Snoqualmie Valley Museum, and they spent countless hours loading imagery, information. So it's a really cool collaboration with them. So we're super excited. We're going to do some fun promotion around that and try to get people excited, to even the history buffs, to maybe walk around town and give some tours. So we'll talk more later about that, but this will be a great thing to have up and running for the summer for people to do. And we are working on a City of North Bend map, a printed map. We have a kiosk that will be set up next to, we felt like the best spot is near Tweets, since they have people visiting from all around the world all year long. So it'll be a great place. And we are going to do this proxy map. We have one on our website. This is the same type of map that the Historic Walking Tour, and businesses have control also to update their own points. And we're putting everyone in North Bend on here, and then highlighting, downtown. But it is a way for us to measure the tourism engagement. It's a scalable platform for future events and activations. We can actually do kind of like scavenger hunts and things like that. It supports both visitors and residents. It positions North Bend as a forward-thinking, data-informed, and visitor-friendly, while supporting local businesses in a practical, measurable way. So we're super excited. There will be a printed map that will live on the kiosk, and those 3 little areas down below are actually, people will be able to put flyers in there. So that'll be a great spot to put the art for North Bend Art and Industry and things like that, all the upcoming. So it's very exciting. We're excited. We'll see how the first one goes, and hopefully we can get funds for a second and third one at some point. So that's happening. I hope everyone enjoys AI artwork. I was like, I want to show something. We are going to have a visitor info booth that North Bend Downtown Foundation, we will be running it in the sense of we are going to encourage different volunteers to help, whether it is community members or business owners, and we will have information about the city, have maps, what's going on, information from King County Search and Rescue on there, especially for the hikers. And then if a business is helping volunteer at it, they can have whatever they want to advertise their own business there. So we're also going to try to have some live music, especially on Saturday, maybe afternoons, Sunday afternoons. But again, attempting to get some sponsors for that. So just remember that. And so we're very excited about that, because we think that would be very great, especially around the peak match days. So we have all those dates in mind. So we also focus on business assistant and supporting businesses. So we have our economic vitality and outreach committees. And so we focus on quite a few different things with our community after hours, our merchant meetings. We have the proxy map that we're really taking advantage of. We've been encouraging our businesses to enhance their Google businesses. We have the Holidays Window Fest. That was a huge outreach program. Back when we did the holiday market, that was a very big deal to activate the space. So merchant meetings, we actually had one this morning here, which was lovely. We always have we try to have someone speak from the city to give updates. And then we talk about what we have going on and find out what the businesses have going on. And honestly, these meetings have been great for the merchants because they come together, and some, even this morning, had never met each other. So every time it's just building community within them, which I personally think is important. So that's been a great thing. And we have our community after hours, and these we've been doing monthly, and people are loving them. So our most recent ones, we had our Wiggin' Out game night, the lovely picture in the middle. We had requests for another wig evening, so look out for that. So everyone loves to dress up, we have found. So we try to do a theme around whatever we do. We had our America 250 US trivia themed night at Pearl and Stone, and people were lovely and wore the hat I had him wear for a photo. And so it's been great because we've had great conversation. Business owners come out, community members come out, and they have been getting involved with giving us ideas of what they want to do. It's like, let's just have some sort of party every month. It's always a good time. So with our Academic Vitality and Outreach Committee, we have worked with the Masonic Lodge. We've worked with the Boxleys Jazz Club. I'm not sure if all of you have seen our social media of elfing around downtown and shopping with our Nomies. We're definitely trying to make it fun. We hear from people that they're excited for all the videos that keep coming out. So we will have more. We might have an eagle and George Washington for our historic walking tour. Just wait for that. And we also partner and help with the city communication with like a parametrics project with like the McClellan Alley project coming up. And then we also consistently walk around downtown, talk to businesses. It's very important to have conversations because sometimes some can't make it at all to the merchant meetings or community after hours. So we just try to keep the communication going. We also focus on the downtown North Bend appearance with our design committee. So we have focused on doing our meetup cleanups, cleaning up around town. It's shocking sometimes how many cigarette butts I know that we pick up. So we'll come up with maybe a plan for that in the future, but it's fantastic. A lot of people come out. We partner with some of the different organizations around town sometimes, which is fantastic. And, you know, you always get a good people honking as they're driving by saying, thank you. It's exciting stuff. So people are happy to see it being cleaned up. We also helped with the mural behind Iron Duck and partnering with Tweeds for their 3 new murals. We also hosted the Holidays Window Fest. And so last year we did it in North Bend. And then this year we actually included Snoqualmie. So we had 2 days, we had 2 days. And it was wonderful. We had snowflakes in Snoqualmie and North Bend, and people helped from North Bend and Snoqualmie, from Snoqualmie and North Bend, both all day. It was very cool. We had about 50 plus volunteers. And so it was very exciting. We also partnered with the City of North Bend for the local photographers that the photography that you see on the Recology bins. So we paid a bunch of local photographers. So that was exciting. And then we launched the Americana project with Birches, encouraging the businesses to create a cohesive downtown flag display from Memorial Day to Labor Day. So we're definitely encouraging businesses to do even more flags this year since America 250. So, and just flags in general everywhere, red, white, and blue, stars and stripes. And the grant funded murals, and I don't think everyone realizes that they were with North Bend Downtown Foundation. The Snoqualmie Tribe funded the Iron Duck Public House mural on the back. So that was very exciting. And we were lucky with some For Culture support. And so some of that is going towards working with Tweeds and the 3 murals. As we know, they had to get re-stuccoed because it was falling apart. So everything got taken down. So they have the new double R to go in the front. That was redone beautifully. And a new Welcome to Twin Peaks in the back. That is always a huge draw for people. And then there's going to be one to come. Hopefully it will start in spring, summer, and it would hopefully be in the conjunction with when Beth at the North Bend Theater has her Fire Walk with Me event in August. So we'll do some reveal and have fun, but people are very excited about that. And I will take a breath and say thank you to all of you, the City of North Bend, and your always continued collaboration, your support. We can't do it without you. And we invite you all to come out to our events and let us know how we can support you even more, and come and talk to us on how you want to maybe get involved too. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Council, questions? Yes.
Well, first of all, thank you, and thank you to all of you for your great ideas and enthusiasm. That's not, good ideas are not something that I can come up with, but I know them when I see them. So, so thank you.
Thank you.
My question just was, you were talking about the FIFA World Cup. Are there going to be any watch parties in the city? What can you?
So we're
talk a
not
little bit
quite
about-
sure yet. So there was the announcement, I think it was a week ago or so, that Seattle now has said, oh, we're not going to do the watch party we were going to do. And so they're trying to disperse things outward. So I think James and I will look into the possibility of one. We have no idea how much it costs. It's going to depend on that hugely. So if it's affordable, sure. But yes. So yes, it'd be great. So we are working on figuring that out for sure.
Susan?
Yeah, thanks for everything you guys do. It's awesome. Want to continue to see all the growth and with all the businesses, and we want to see them do well. So this is great. I do have a question. I know that one of the things you guys are working on is getting accredited with Main Street, and I was curious if you had an update on that.
So at this point, we are focusing more on what everyone seems to like, which is the promotions and events and everything. And that is not what at the moment Main Street wants us to focus on. They would want a high focus on all of the the historical preservation. And so we are an affiliate. And so we did not get it last year, just for the same reason we didn't get the year before. Well, the first year was because we were promotions heavy. So we backed off on that and focused more on historic preservation and design and economic vitality. But they still are looking at more historical preservation. And what it seems is they seem to just award accreditation to one, maybe two cities a year. So we are going to take a break this year from applying, because we are definitely going promotions heavy, especially with America 250 and FIFA. It's way important for our community for us to focus on that. And we will still be actively looking towards ways, but at this point, we are not, just because of the reasons I just said. And Brian, yes.
Hey, Brian Davis here. It's a great question. We talked a lot about it on what was important for the board and the foundation. And the Main Street accreditation is seemingly very vague on how they get people or towns through to receive the accreditation. So we kind of needed to revamp and kind of regroup, and working with James, working with, the city and what's important to residents. And we really are trying to figure out this year what's most important for North Bend versus what's important for the accreditation. So we still get to be a part as an affiliate, and we kind of get the best of both worlds that way, but we get to kind of make our direction for town the way residents need, and not so much what the body up there, that they don't even let us talk to them when we present. We have 5 minutes to try to win a rubric, and if anyone's been in all that, it's very challenging. So yeah, that's our piece on that.
And to follow up really quick, we are still operating like a 4-point approach, which I feel is important, and we feel is important because it works so well.
To follow up with that, is there anything that we can do to help you guys?
Yes, we can discuss. I would love to sit and talk with everybody on like what it is that you would like to help with or what you can help with. And I think we'll have some follow-up meetings after the presentation in a couple weeks also, to just kind of see what next steps we can do and what's going to make the most sense. And so, yeah, I'd love help, and we'll figure out what that help will be. Yeah.
Councilmember McFarland?
Really impressed with Brian's use of rubric. That was awesome. And super impressed with the growth of the activities and the number of things that the foundation is doing, or the group is doing. It's just having taken about a 2-year nap, waking up and seeing how it's grown, how many more things you're doing. That's just fantastic. Yes, the accreditation was on my mind as well. Understand what you're saying there. Might have missed it on the slide. One question I had was also membership growth. The number of businesses who are part of the foundation. You have something on that?
So we don't have a membership. So right now, the membership would be we operate with highlighting the downtown, historic downtown. We have been having the conversations about, like what Brian was saying, we're trying to regroup. We're looking at kind of expanding and highlighting more of the businesses beyond downtown. We already kind of do. People do reach out to us from even over in the outlet mall, over by, the Safeway shopping area, things like that. So we are talking about that because it is a finite area, and it will help. We feel will help North Bend that much more if we can incorporate more businesses and help more. So we are talking about that. And with that, we may start some sort of membership, just so we can get some sort of funds, and they can have businesses will have a little bit more of a buy-in and things like that.
And I recall that the notion of dues or something was, and I wasn't speaking to that at all, just how many businesses were involved with the group. So thank you for that. I also missed the kiosk that you were talking about in the whole historical walk. That's just really cool. But I missed where that was going to be, that main.
So the kiosk will be set up near Tweeds. You know how they have the like newspaper stands. Yeah. So we're going to put that there, and then and that will be the city map, and then the historic walking tour little vinyls will be on the windows. But we're also going to be printing window clings for the city map too. That will be, we're going to make everyone know where they are.
Just awesome, board and you. Thanks.
Thank you, Rob.
Well, thank you. I will just add that I think the growth's been incredible and it's awesome. And I'm only one voice up here, but if the brainstorming and whatnot leads to, hey, we should expand this beyond downtown because it benefits everyone, like I am all for that. I think proof's in the pudding, right? Like all the events that have on are pulling every business from every angle. So I would fully support that. So I would say, be as progressive thinking as we need to be to really kick this off and keep moving, because I think you guys are definitely heading in the right direction. The residents clearly enjoy everything that's going on. So, and I'm very excited for the parade on 4th of July.
Yeah, thought you would be.
I changed the name too.
Well, if and when we expand, we will definitely look at changing the name from Downtown Foundation to something. So maybe start planting a seed. Start thinking of names. Have like a name.
That was on my mind of like, hey, we should be open to a rebrand if it makes sense.
Exactly. That has been on our.
I'm all for the highest impact, and I think that's exactly where you guys are going. So I totally support it. Love it. So
awesome. Thank you.
Council, are we good? Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right, we'll now move on to Mayor, Council, Administrator concerns and initiatives. Council, we will start with Councilmember Torgerson.
Okay, this Friday, do not miss out. At Huck's-Daughter, I think it's from 9 to 10 a.m. There's going to be coffee talks with Chief Ed Hall, and then he's going to do it again in the evening at what time? 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Volition, maybe it's longer than 6 p.m.
Probably.
And that's going to be called A Last Call with Chief Hall. So that's this Friday. And then the next one I think is on the 24th. Is that right? I had it written down and I left it at home. Sorry.
25th of March.
25th of March. Okay.
Yeah.
So it was around there. Same exact time, but different places. So the morning one is going to be at, I had it memorized, but I forgot, obviously. The evening one is going to be at the Blackwater, but the morning one is at I apologize. I have it on my printer at home. March 25th at
Red coffee.
That's right. Now that you say that. So yeah, so I think that'll be exciting. And that's a great introduction to our new police chief since we'll be starting with them on April 1st. So it'll be a nice little transition. So that's all I have for today.
Thank you. Councilmember Lustig.
Yes, thank you. So St. Patrick's Day is right around the corner. And if you didn't know, on Sunday, March 15th at 9:30 a.m., there is a Snoqualmie Valley St. Patrick's Day fun run, 5K walk and run benefiting the Snoqualmie Valley Food Bank. So it's at Centennial Fields Park. And I will be there, so I hope people will join me. I don't want to be the only one out on a Sunday morning at 9:30, but it does benefit the food bank. So if you sign up and can't quite make it there, it's still a good thing. So there's a 5K walk run and there's a pot of gold kid stash. So that's all I had. Thank you.
Yep. Councilmember Jocelyn.
Thank you, Your Honor. At some point, we'll need to switch the order so Rob doesn't have to follow me every week. Let's see. I want to acknowledge that on February 17th, Jesse Jackson passed away, a civil rights leader. He was the runner-up for the Democratic nomination for president of this country in 1988, and an icon of mine. I appreciate, let's see, semi-quincentennial. I wrote it down. It was on a slide. The America 250. I don't know that I've ever seen or heard semi-quincentennial. So that's a thing. But I want to acknowledge that America 250 should be inclusive, and I have a concern that our country is trending away from those things, in particular, reading too much news, and that's my own fault. But there have been numerous reports lately that with our country having started a war of choice in Iran, that a number of military leaders have sent troops off into battle, suggesting that this is Armageddon leading to the rapture. And I'm not making that up. And it frightens me to my core. And I simply wanted to say that many folks, and I'm quoting Carrie Elvid here, many folks in this country are profoundly confused about the term religious freedom. The First Amendment does not guarantee us the right to discriminate based on our religion. It instead guarantees us the right to not be discriminated against based on our religious beliefs. And I hold that value at my core. With that said, now I'm going to scoop you on your song lyrics and quote Edwin Starr from 1970, his album War and Peace. War, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. War I despise because it means destruction of innocent lives. Thank you, Your Honor.
Councilmember McFarland.
I'm more honored than not that it's spreading. I am going to stick to what I've started in making some comments beyond North Bend. But first, as emblematic of the two presentations tonight, and in a sense almost bookends the work of the Planning Commission that is looking at how our community is put together, how we are proceeding forward, and then the very present in today work of the Downtown Foundation, and focus very much on tourism and events for our community. That's pretty cool to do, and I'm glad we had them together, even though when I first looked at it, I thought, you got to be kidding, 2 at once. I look at you. That said, I'm gonna keep going deeper. I do have a song for you. Every week it seems we're more alarmed by things, and there are 2 things that happened this week, somewhat in addition to what Councilmember Jocelyn spoke to. But one thing that I've learned is to trust the current occupant when he says something that he wants to do. Little by little, he does it, and it's the boiling frog analogy. There was an article in the New York Times that broke this past week on Friday, which any of you that follow politics, that's known in all White Houses as throw out the trash day, because nobody's reading the news. So that's when you put out this kind of stuff. But it was released that there is a draft executive order to suspend the midterm elections based on declaring a national emergency and citing the same old lies about the prior presidential election and interference. That ought to shake everybody who is within earsight to their core. It's coming, folks. Then, of course, during the weekend, we started a war with Iran. That used to be a claim that that was what President Obama was going to do to distract us from the elections. 1-2, folks. 1-2. So tonight, a couple lines from a song that was banned by Armed Forces Radio back during Vietnam. It's called Eve of Destruction by Barry McGuire, 1965. Again, I invite you to listen and think through. A couple of lines, not necessarily in order. The pounding of the drums, the pride and the disgrace. The Eastern world, it is exploding. Violence flaring, bullets loading. Wake up, folks. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, and City Administrator Emery.
I always struggle to follow the two of you because then I try to go back to something positive and it just falls flat. So I will just say I want to focus on just one thing Jessica kind of glanced over, which is her social media numbers. I think that is such an important piece with getting our community out there. I know that I've lived in this community for 9 months. Every visitor that I have come up here ends up following Jessica eventually on either Facebook or Instagram and sees all the amazing things that we're doing in this town. And they go, where did you find this woman at? This is absolutely amazing. I've never seen this before in a town. And they're just so impressed with how our town is really marketed and the businesses inside are marketed the way that she does that on social media. So I just wanted to put a call out specifically on that slide, how impressive that is for our local community. And thank you. I'll leave it with that.
All right. So a couple updates. On Friday, March 6th, incoming Police Chief Ed Hall invites residents to join him in the community conversation about local public safety and the city's new police department that will begin serving North Bend on April 1st. Please stop by for 2 opportunities to connect this Friday at Huckstadter Coffee from 9 to 10 or Volition Brewery from 5 to 6. Additional meetups are scheduled. If you are unable to attend, please check the city's calendar on our website. Beginning Monday, March 9th, Salal Water Association will begin their water main replacement project in and around the intersection of North Bend Way, Mount Si Road, and Stilson Avenue Southeast, and will require intermittent lane closures from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. The city will update the community as this work continues. Drivers should expect traffic control during traffic interruptions. This project will likely wrap up between mid to late May. I would also like to add that Little League has started as of today, so there will be lots of little ball players in and around Torgerson Park, in the rain. So just a heads up, come out, check out some baseball. It'll be fun, and I would be remiss if I didn't finish off the evening with my call out to mental health. Major depression affects 8% of American adults each year, more than 21 million people. 15% of youth ages 12 to 17 are affected by major depression. That's more than 3.7 million youth. Depression can affect anyone at any age and of any race or ethnic group. Depression is never a normal part of life, no matter your demographic. Mental health matters. Reach out, talk to your friends, check in on yourself. Don't let the hard days win. And with that, I will have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
You.
Hey, get the